I decided that at the end of 1960, I'd never planned it, but I just was driving at Laguna Seca, and I took about my 5th nitroglycerin pill, and I could have won the race. But I was driving around, I said, well, I think I'll quit. Time to go try to build a car.
Who wants the elegance of a European touring car and till now had to settle for basic transportation? This is for them. This is Mustang.
I remember watching TV at home and the first Mustang ad that Ford put out with the stampede of horses across the prairie and then the car driving along the dirt road. And that was fairly impactful. That was a moment, to say the least. Lee Iacocca was the main player with Ford at the time, and they were looking for a small four-place car, but a sportier two-door type car that would appeal to the baby boomers that were starting to come of age at the time.
Ford originally started the Mustang as more of almost an economy car.
Early on, the car was known as a secretary's car. Or a second car for a family. It wasn't, it had a sporty look and it performed well, especially with the V8 options, but it just didn't have that pedigree yet until Carroll Shelby took over. Carroll Shelby was a chicken farmer turned race driver and had to stop racing because of a heart condition and had always wanted to build his own car. So that forced retirement from racing put him in a position to where he wanted to gather up what he could to produce the car he had dreamed of. He won a lot of races, won more than he lost, won championships, won Le Mans early on, drove Maseratis, drove all manner of exotic sport cars at the time. And I think that experience led him to seek out what he did with the Cobra, the lightweight body and chassis with a large V8 engine in it. That was Shelby's first automotive attempt, and very successfully so. And that led to him being called upon to give a sports car and racing image to the Mustang. In the 1960s and even into the early 70s, and even as far back as the late 50s, manufacturers participated in motorsports because of the old adage that you win on Sunday, you sell on Monday.
Carroll Shelby, with his company called Shelby American, took early Mustangs and took a look at it from a standpoint of what can we do to improve it. Mostly from a performance standpoint, which would be more power, better handling, but also an image. I mean, they looked at, we wanted this to be, not just a plain boring white Mustang. We want it to have a style that it distinguishes it from the regular Mustang. So they put stripes on them, they put badges and hood scoops and things that weren't necessarily performance gains, but they kind of went with the performance image. So that brought the Mustang to a whole new market.
They had modified suspension. They lowered the pivot point of the upper control arms. They put a huge anti-sway, anti-roll bar under the front. The original engine in the cars as they were shipped from Ford San Jose assembly plant over to Shelby American was the K-Code engine, the 289 high performance. It had 271 horsepower. And after Carroll Shelby got through turning it into the Shelby Mustang, it had 306 horsepower.
They knew how to look at the car from we're racers, we're hot rodders, we know what we need to do to make it faster, and they applied it to the stock Mustang to make the Shelby Mustang.
It's a different breed of the car, purpose-built to win races, but it also gave an image to the car and the public that You know, I've got a Mustang. Now I have a race car.
He's behind the wheel of the new Mustang GT350, the first American car of its kind. Mustang-based GT350 will compete against the E-Type Jags, the Sunbeam Tigers, and Corvettes.
I love the way I get pressed back into the seat when my right foot goes down. And I love shifting that big old sloppy Hurst shifter. It's, you know, there are much better pieces of machinery around today, but this just has that feel and that aura about it that's tough to explain. I met Carroll Shelby in 1986 at the Shelby American Automobile Club National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. You had that feel when you were with him that you knew him and that he wanted you to be there. It wasn't just a, you know, here's my autograph and get out of here. It was I think it was a genuine connection he made with everybody that was there. And people stood in line for hours just to get to meet him and to get his autograph.
Carroll Shelby never wanted these cars to be built to sit in a museum for people to ooh and ah over. He wanted them to go out to the track and people to ooh and ah over them, flying down, passing the Ferraris and all that fun stuff.
One of the things that was my passion was to always preserve these old cars. The old Mustangs especially were, you know, they were simple, reliable transportation, reliable cars. So I think it's interesting to show how the cars evolved.
To try to explain to someone how it feels to drive it, it's very difficult. Maybe some of the newer amusement park rides where you get that thrill of acceleration and the turning and even the loops and upside down. I don't know, you just get that feeling in your body that, you know, you've got this mechanical thing acting on you. And it's kind of that way with the Shelby. You feel its personality. You feel like I said, the acceleration and the handling. You feel that, and it's difficult to explain that to somebody.